Yum, 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 yum.
Welcome to Chef Adam's Stead Catering. Hi folks, this is the Spanish-themed edition of One Chef One Critic. That's why we're doing something a little bit different today. Hola, by the way. Buenos dias, buenas noches, whatever time of the day you happen to be watching this episode. Chef Adam Stead is a caterer. He does dinner parties, he does cocktail parties, corporate events, you name it. But today, he's doing Spanish tapas for us. And what are you cooking right now, Adam?
I'm just searing off some scallops. I have some beautiful beef tenderloin, and I also have some lobster spread on baguette.
Boy, that's my kind of tapas. Okay, I'm going to get out of your way.
Look, Karl, what Adam's done. It's beautiful lemon here with cocktail picks. Just going to be great to pull out there.
That's a very clever idea.
Absolutely.
And this, Mr. Watson, is going to be a clever episode of One Chef, One Critic, our Spanish-themed show.
Tapas, small portions.
Hello, everybody. I'm Karl Wells, food critic and food journalist.
And I'm Chef Steve Watson of Central Dairies.
And look, Steve, we're even starting off with Spanish wine today. We have a Ramon Bilbao Rioja, which the Spanish are famous for. Actually, they love Rioja wine.
I believe that's one of Jennifer Murray Segovia's, our guest today. And she's a Spanish wine importer.
I think you're probably
here on
right.
the island. Yes, yes. And we're going to be preparing for her on that show because she loves Spanish food. I'm going to be preparing a wonderful paella.
Oh, perfect.
Lobster
Paella.
and
Classic,
scallops, yes.
classic Spanish dish. She's
Absolutely.
going to love it. And we're also going to Spain.
We're going to Spain, Karl?
Well, no, actually, I went to Spain. You stayed here. But don't worry, I brought you home a nice gift.
Can't wait.
Oh, look, the food's arrived. Now, this is a grilled tenderloin with a horseradish Dijon sauce.
And I see here there's a nice baguette crudité with some salmon on there and some lobster and some caviar and some Fogo Island shrimp.
Fogo Island shrimp, perfect. And of course, these are the scallops and brown butter that you saw Adam sautéing off at the beginning of the program. So let's dig in and start tasting our tapas. Get out of my way. If you're traveling in Spain or any foreign country and you want to get a taste of the real food of the country, check out the restaurants where the locals dine. Well, here we are in the One Chef One Critic kitchen again for our Spanish-themed show today. And Steve's got a lovely, colorful display of food. And we've got a very colorful guest with us today. Jennifer Murray Segovia is our guest. She's the president of Pizantes and Segovia Wines and knows an awful lot about Spanish food and Spanish culture. And just tell us, first of all, very quickly, Jennifer, about your Spanish roots.
Yes, Karl, my grandparents from my mother's side, they come from the town of Segovia. I don't know if you heard about it.
Yes, I have.
We take the name after Segovia, and it's a beautiful town in Spain. So she carried all the traditions down to South America.
Okay. Well, Stephen isn't from Spain.
I'm from the other side of the pond, though.
He grew up close to Spain, but he's going to do a Spanish dish for you today.
Well, I can see, Jennifer, that I've got a little bit of a challenge today, but what I've got some beautiful fresh seafood here. We've got some shrimp, we've got some mussels, and we're going to be making paella. And we've got some chicken here, and a few vegetables, some peppers, and we're going to put a little bit of saffron into our rice as well. So let's get started.
Sounds exciting.
So first of all, what we will do, Jennifer, we'll just put a little bit of olive oil into our paella pan, not being too shy, and then we're going to cook the chicken off first, and then I'm going to cut some vegetables up as well. So first of all, I'll put it in, and then I'll get you to saute it off for us to start it going.
And
There we go.
Jennifer, the word paella actually refers to
To the pan.
the pan.
Yes.
That's what it's called.
Absolutely, yes. It's interesting because this dish took the name of its vessel, which used to be normally a frying pan, and it was exchanged the handle and put two small handles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the reason for this, how thin it is to absorb the water. So the paella will be cooked just to its point.
And when they serve it, I know in restaurants, they actually bring out the pan.
Yes.
Yeah, you eat directly from the pan. serve yourself from the pan. So is this a dish that folks in Spain would have every week, or?
No. Actually, paella comes originally from Valencia. They are the ones who invented the paella in the 1800s. And the original paella from Valencia is made of chicken and rabbit.
Oh, I see.
And no seafood. But then the rest of Spain started doing their own paellas and it became very popular. Perhaps it's the most international dish from Spain.
And then we'll just pop into a nice sweet peppers and some onions, and we'll carry on sauteing that just for a moment.
Just worry it's spoiling. Is that okay here?
Absolutely.
I was saying about a special, actually paella in Valencia was prepared for special occasions, family reunions, celebrations on Sundays normally.
Oh, so it's a Sunday dish.
Yes.
Just like our Jig's dinner.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's for a family occasion, you
Yes,
say?
special celebrations, yes. And it has become so international, it's amazing.
Would you like to swap there, Carl?
So what makes Spanish food different from other cuisines?
Well, I believe, I don't know if you have follow up a little bit on Spain, but Spain has been influenced by so many different cultures. The Romans, there was 500 years of Roman occupation. There were the Arabs for 700 years. So they brought a lot of different spices and products, oranges, for example, to Spain. And that's why it's so colorful. Spain depends where in Spain the food is very different. If you go to Barcelona or if you go to Galicia, in Galicia there were the Celts and all north of Spain. So the food is very much of that style as well.
You mentioned spices, and I know that there's an ingredient that you really need. It's necessary for paella, and that's saffron.
Yes.
And as you can see, we brought our little gold mine here. We've got about $4,000 worth of saffron here.
Not quite.
And and what it is, I say 4,000, actually, for 1 ounce of saffron, is basically 4,000 stems of the iris of the flower there. And we're going to be adding that to our risotto rice, and it's really going to come through with the flavour and with the colours as well, so to speak.
I think it's the crocus, right? Is that the flower, the crocus?
The crocus.
I believe so, yes.
Crocus that it
Yeah, I
comes
said
from?
the iris. Sorry about that.
Where'd you get it? You get it here?
Actually, no, this was imported from Toronto, so. Okay, I'm going to take that out now. Nice and colourful, and then we're going to start our rice.
Speaking of the origin of our ingredients, we should remind folks that all of the ingredients that you see here today came from Coleman's.
In Mount Pearl.
And Coleman's of Mount Pearl, and we thank them for that. So, Jennifer, do they still take siestas in Spain?
Oh, of course, always. Yes.
Really? So
it's very important.
What time of the day does that start?
Normally it's from 1 to 4 o'clock. I mean, sorry,
okay,
1,
yeah.
2, 3, 2 hours, 2 hours, yes.
Yeah.
Which is lunchtime. People work later hours in Spain.
So does that mean they get up earlier in the morning?
No, sorry, no. It starts. They work normally from 9 to 1, and then you go for your lunch at 1 o'clock, and come back around 3:30, sometimes 4 o'clock. But you work later hours from 8 up to 8 o'clock in the evening.
So to this olive oil there now, I'm just going to add the arboreal rice.
What type of rice do you use?
This one I'm using an arboreal rice, but you can use long grain.
Yes.
And this is going to be very...
Looks good.
Yeah, the rice is important
Very important.
for paella because it has to be kind of sticky.
And that's what this was going
Short
to
grain
be.
rice. Yeah, this is the same rice that you would use for a risotto.
Correct, absolutely. So there we go.
Yeah.
Also comes from Coleman's.
Coleman's in Mount Pearl.
Oh, fantastic. Sounds a place to go.
And as you saw, I did cut up the chorizo sausage as well. And I believe you've got a ham over there.
Yes, we should mention the ham actually because it's quite conspicuous. Spain is famous for its ham, and why don't you tell us what type of ham you brought along to show us?
This is called Iberian ham, or jamón ibérico, as we would say, and it comes from Spain and Portugal only.
Oh.
the south part actually. And the pigs, they have to be called jamón ibérico. It have to be at least 75% of black Iberian pigs.
Yep.
And there is three basic grades of ham.
Yeah.
One is jamón ibérico de bellota, which is a top quality ham, where the pigs are fed acorns only and free range.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, absolutely.
May I taste this?
Yes, please, go ahead.
He never stops eating.
I know, but it's very tempting. You see that little fat, it's excellent fat, it's delicious. And then we have the second grade, which is jamón ibérico, which is the pigs are fed with acorn as well as grain, which is called in Spain jamón de recebo. And the third category is just called plain jamón ibérico, and the pigs are fed only grain.
Okay, as you can see now, we've put the vegetables back in, we've put the chicken back in. We're now going to add some of our seafood. As you can see, we've got some beautiful shrimp, we've got some mussels, and some tiger shrimp there as well.
So, Steve, because the chicken takes longer to cook, you cook that first.
Before, and I wanted to caramelise it a little bit in the bottom of the pan, so it'll give a little bit more flavour to the rice. And talk about rice, maybe you could put some of the chicken stock into the pan there now. Look at the colours coming through there.
Yes,
now.
that's
Absolutely
fantastic.
good.
Lovely.
So how much stock?
Well, what I did
do you
there, I
need?
measured it out 2 to 1 basically. So it's 2 parts of the rice. Sorry, 2 parts of the stock to 1 part of the rice. So, and then we're going to pop that into the oven, and it'll cook through beautifully.
That looks absolutely delicious.
Can't wait.
And the saffron's going to give it a nice
Yellow colour. It's going to be very
yellow
pungent
colour
through
as well.
it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we'll put some
So
peas in there.
what type of wine would you have with paella? I guess it would depend on whether it's a mixed paella or a seafood
Exactly. Like for this type, I will be inclined to have white wine actually.
paella. Yes, yeah, it looks beautiful.
And we're going to be putting that in the oven for about 35 minutes at
Okay.
350.
Yep. Well, I'm going to go down to the cellar and pick out a wine to go with this. And actually, you haven't seen the cellar.
No.
So why
So you're going to leave me by myself?
Yeah.
And do the cooking again?
Yeah. It's a tough life, I know. you know. So come on down to the cellar with me, Jennifer, and we'll have a look at what's down there.
He tells me he's got a friend down there, but I don't know.
You put the paella in the oven, Steve.
Okay, thanks a lot, Carl. I'll look after this.
So this is the wine cellar, Jennifer, and Steve talks
Jennifer,
about his friend.
You. Thanks again for Friday night. It's only been 48 hours, but that was fantastic. And
You know
again,
each
the wines
other.
were awesome.
Lots of people. That was fantastic.
Yeah, it was really lovely. How are
We
you?
know each other.
Yeah, Jennifer supplied the wines for my party Friday night. It was great.
How come you were not there?
You had a party?
Oh, yeah, remember
Friday night?
you and Steve were doing some recipe stuff together, and Steve doesn't know I exist or doesn't think I exist. So how can you go to a party with someone who doesn't exist, right? Next time, ditch Steve. So what's cooking? What are we
Oh,
doing?
you had a party. Yeah. Anyway, Jeremy, my friend, Jeremy, and he's also one of my personal wine experts. So he helps me select wines for the meals that we have here.
That's for sure.
Excellent.
You should see the pool out back. Huge. I've never seen it, but apparently it's huge.
Yeah.
Love to see.
Anyway, yeah. Give you a pool. Come in. Now we're having paella. And Jennifer's thinking maybe a white wine because it's got a lot of seafood in it.
Fair enough. Yeah, paellas. I love Spanish paella. We got a couple of selections here we can go with. How about first,
Yes.
Condes del Albarino. You know this one very
100%.
well.
Yes, a fabulous area, wine producing
It's lovely.
area, Cambados.
I have another Albarino as well in both this region. You know that region very
Rías
well.
Bajas, yes.
Yeah, a lot of seafood in that area.
Absolutely.
So that is a great choice. And just in case, there is a red as well. Yolera is really nice. For the paella, depending, again, if you're doing a lot of seafood,
Yes.
of course, white's a great way to go. You can always
Yeah.
sometimes go with a little bit of red as well.
Yes, you can. And this is very much of the old style, of Rioja style. Actually, the winemaker is from Rioja. So
Oh, nice.
It's,
So I know you have these long days in Spain and you're eating and having fun and everything.
Yes, every day.
So did you start drinking wine early in the day?
Yes,
in
you
Spain?
can, but mainly it's always you drink wine with your food, so that's the idea, the tradition, and it's part of the culture as well. You don't need a special occasion to drink wine.
Yeah, and sometimes we see people in Spain drinking out of what they look like highball glasses or half a tumbler.
Yes.
Do people still drink out of that style glass?
Yes,
or?
that's the old fashioned, and people still do. You go to some taperias, and they use that kind of glass, especially in the other part in Barcelona. I love that region. You drink chacolí, which is a type of wine typical from that region, and they serve only in the small glasses.
I love that. It's very. It's not very stuffy. It's just really easy going. Just drinking your wine with food.
Yeah. But Spain is so famous for its wines. It has a long history of winemaking and tradition.
And is red wine sort of the wine of choice, or do people drink white in Spain as well?
Yes, both. Really both. I mean, there is no really limit. It depends on preferences. But you can say yes, probably people tend to drink more red than they do white.
And mostly with food?
Yes. Yes.
Because you mentioned tapas.
Yes, tapas.
That's
is
a famous...
small dishes. Tapas could be anything, really.
Yeah.
But, there's small portions of food.
Yeah.
And each region has their own style of tapas.
Okay, well, we're going to try the... what was this again, Jim?
Canes del Barry. This is the first Albarino you ever gave to me. It's
I love
fantastic.
it. We were the first one, actually, in the province to have these.
That's right.
So you guys have known each other for a while.
Yeah. Lots of parties.
Small
It's
world.
been great. All right.
Okay.
Enjoy your meal.
Bye.
See you, Jennifer. Take care. Carl, next time.
Karl, the party was fantastic. He even put a lampshade on his head. Lots of champagne. Hey.
Well, I've been having my own little party too. Prepared the food, nice and hot.
We're here and it looks fantastic. My gosh.
Delicious. Look at
You've
that.
done an amazing job.
Well, thank you, Karl.
And we have a wine that Jennifer is very familiar with, an Albarino from Spain. That we're going to have with this, and I'll just serve Jennifer some right now. So,
Thank you.
Jennifer, does this paella that Steve has made look fairly authentic?
It looks very much indeed.
The truth is going to be in the eating, though.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Well, it
Look at the
it looks
shrimp.
fabulous, and
Oh
I'm sure
my
it's going
God.
to taste absolutely fabulous.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Okay. Let's have a taste.
Yes.
Of Stephen's paella, who doesn't have any Spanish blood in his veins.
None whatsoever.
But he's done a fine job.
Oh, the rice is beautiful.
Delicious. It's almost like being in Spain, Steve.
Absolutely.
That chorizo is really tasty.
Delicious.
It really goes through the rice, for sure.
It's not hot either. It's
No.
not a spicy one.
It's the blending of the flavours, I think, so.
Yeah.
I believe there's paprika in the chorizo, actually.
Just a little bit, yeah. Yeah.
Well, folks, if you want this recipe for Steve's paella, go to centraldairies.com, click on the One Chef One Critic page, and you'll also find there a recipe that Jennifer is going to give us, because this is something that you like to cook at home.
Yes, there's one of my recipes is called gambas al ajillo, which is very simple, really. But the main ingredient is, of course, a good quality of olive oil, virgin. It has to be extra virgin. We put onions, we put some herbs, and we usually be white wine and shrimp.
Sounds
Perfect.
amazing. So we'll look forward to getting that recipe from you.
Yes.
And cheers. Thank you for
Cheers.
being
Cheers.
on a One Chef, One Critic and
Thank you.
teaching us a little bit about Spain.
Thank you.
For more of Chef Steve Watson's recipes, our recommended wine lists, and guest recipes, log on to centraldairies.com. Have a recipe that you want to share with us? Send it along to onechef.onecritic@rci.rogers.com. Be sure to attach your name, address, and contact number, and you and a guest could be eligible to win a dinner for two at one of our city's finest restaurants. Let us know what you think of the show at 757-9600.
Microwave your lemons for 15 seconds before squeezing and double the amount of juice.
I love flambe.
Karl, it's that flambe with that vanilla-infused brandy, and just like in Spain, small portions, local ingredients, and
Absolutely local
my
ingredients.
goodness,
Look,
look
I
at
see
this.
baked apples, partridge berries, strawberries,
all in a baked apple there. Oh my
blueberries.
goodness.
Looks amazing. Just like you get in Spain. And
Yes, some
speaking of
people.
Spain, we'd be remiss if we didn't go, Watson. No, somebody had to do it. Somebody has to do it.
I know.
That person was me. So now, folks, without further ado, let's go to sunny España! Well, here I am for One Chef One Critic in the Mediterranean. I'm on one of the Balearic Islands called Ibiza. This island belongs to Spain. And in the heart of the city of Ibiza, there is the Ibiza Old Town, which is essentially an ancient walled city. It goes back centuries. Right at the top of Old Ibiza town is a castle, which is surrounded by a series of maze-like streets that have all kinds of apartments where the locals live, plus shops, restaurants, bars, lots of great restaurants with lots of wonderful food. And of course, the food here really kind of gives you a taste of what the produce of Spain is like, the fruits and vegetables, as well as the wonderful Spanish ham, the meats, the poultry, and so forth. And we cannot forget Spanish wine. Speaking of wine, there's a drink the Spanish make with wine they absolutely love. It's called sangria. It's made with red wine, lemonade, and a handful of freshly chopped fruit. It's just the ticket for a hot day in the Mediterranean. But before I was ready to cool down with a native drink, I decided to head off in search of a local market. I found one not far from my hotel. Workers were at their posts, ready to help you select any number of beautiful fruits and vegetables, most of them grown in Spanish soil. Frutas like succulent peaches and nectarines and many more. Just look at these beautiful limes and lemons. Apart from fruits and vegetables, some stalls were selling olive oil, vinegar, and other Spanish products. Everything I saw looked wonderful. Then, out of the corner of my eye, I saw a woman filling paper bags and decided to take a closer look. Some bags were being filled with dried herbs and some with salt. Ibiza is famous for its salt. All of that salt talk was making me thirsty, so I went in search of a glass of wine. El Zaguán is what they call a taberna in Spain. A lot of the local Ibizans love El Zaguán. They serve food as well as liquid libation, namely something called tapas. Tapas refers to small amounts of food or appetizers that can make a snack or, depending on how many you have, a full meal. Ingredients can be anything: meat, fish, cheese, or vegetarian. Here's something else Spain is famous for: paella, a peasant dish of rice, seafood, and meat. This restaurant makes tons of it every day. It comes in a pan, or paella, and the roaming Spanish minstrel costs extra. No offense to Jose Carreras here, but I was getting a little hungry, and many of Ibiza's best restaurants had just put out fresh tables for the evening rush. I'm at an outdoor cafe in the old town of Ibiza, and I'm enjoying a beautiful appetizer of serrano ham with melon. Serrano ham is a famous Spanish ham. It's very thinly sliced. It's cured ham, served with melon in this case, and it has a mild flavor. It tastes absolutely delicious, and if you're ever in Spain, you should try serrano ham. By the way, here's my main course: baked dorada, or bream, cooked the way the Spanish love it, with the head on. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this One Chef One Critic mini break in Ibiza, Spain. I've enjoyed visiting the restaurants here, the wonderful paella, the jambon serrano, the olives, and the wonderful Spanish wine. Oh, the dorada, the wonderful baked sea bream. And of course that beautiful market with all of those wonderful fruits and vegetables. And I don't think I'd ever smelled fruit as fragrant before. This peach is absolutely amazing. Anyway, it's all been great fun. Buenas noches from Ibiza.
Well, it looks like you had a good time in Spain.
I had a fabulous time in Spain. It was the best mini break ever.
What about my gift? What about my gift?
Oh, your gift. Yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. But listen, folks, Adam Stead's food, absolutely amazing. Adam Stead Catering. If you want to find out how to get in touch with him, go to the Central Dairies website, centraldairies.com, and click on the One Chef One Critic page. Now your gift.
My gift. You're going to love this gift. Salt.
Oh, no, but it's not just any salt.
Oh, I'm sure it isn't.
This is Ibizan salt.
Ibizan
They
salt.
have these salt flats in Ibiza, and they harvest the salt, and they sell it. It's perfect salt.
So I'm supposed to use this in my hot tub, so I'm in Spain,
No,
I'm in the Med.
Look, you use it on your food.
Okay.
Be gracious, Stephen. That's it, folks, for this edition of
One Chef.
One Critic. I got to go to Spain.
Microwave your lemons for 15 seconds before squeezing and double the amount of juice. See what he started?